All right, guys, this is my story of how I got out of back pain, okay? How I got into back pain and how I got out of it. So when I was younger, I loved exercise. I used to do it as therapy, and it was the one thing that made me feel like myself, was pushing my body, press-ups, pull-ups, running, rugby, all these intense movements that really helped me get therapy, essentially. So I used to do this every day. I could do 300 push-ups in the evening, go for a run after school, play rugby, and this gave me the endorphins and the therapy, essentially, that I needed to feel good. So I over-exercised, essentially. And unbeknownst to myself, I'd become so tight in various areas of my body. Everywhere had become tight, essentially, and overused in different areas. One of the tricks I loved doing was backflips. I loved learning about tricking, running up trees and backflipping, slide flipping, jumping off things. And of course, after doing this for such a long period of time, for a few years, and getting tighter and tighter and not knowing about how to look after my body, I ended up grinding my lower back one day. I ran up a quarter pipe in a skate park, did my backflip, and because I'd become so tight in my hip flexors and quads and abs, that as I jerked back, I ran out of space in my back and it grinded my vertebrae together. I often refer to this as when I broke my back, because the pain was so intense. I believe I fractured my Pars Intra articular there, which is if we have a vertebrae and a vertebrae sitting on top of themselves here. This is the part that you see sticking out of the skin, the spinous process. In between these areas, we have little facet joints that articulate together. When you have a really tight spine, these facets come close together, and when we try and bend backwards, they can grind or even break. So this is common in Olympic weightlifters, gymnasts, and wrestlers, where they can jerk their back so intensely that they fracture. Now, I say that I fractured it. I never got an x-ray, but the pain was so intense. I had to lie down afterwards. I went into the climbing gym, lay down, and I said to my friend, I think I've just broken my back. And that led to a very quick inability to do any exercise. I was incredibly depressed, and it actually really affected my mental health. So I was, along with my back really bothering me then, I also was having knee issues, I was having elbow issues, chest issues, and even a toe issue was cropping up, along with my lower back issue. So I wasn't able to exercise any longer. And when I did exercise, it would just start to cause me pain in these areas. And I thought, oh, what is happening? I spent thousands on various therapies trying to fix myself, physiotherapy, chiropractor, osteopath. I didn't know what to do, essentially. So at that stage, I said, I need to start studying how to get out of this. I had to, for my mental health sake. So I became a yoga teacher. I learned all about yoga. I became a strength and conditioning coach. I started to learn about a little bit of Olympic weightlifting, and I started my degree in osteopathy. So osteopathy, if you don't know, is like physiotherapy. The main difference between a physio or physical therapist and an osteopath, we're a little bit more hands-on. We work a little bit more with the spine. So this is perfect for my understanding of the spine and the injuries and some rehabilitation techniques. As I studied yoga, strength and conditioning, and osteopathy, I started to learn some good concepts. Some things didn't help me, some things did help me, but I started to get a really good understanding for rehabilitation, and I started to get out of pain. And I wasn't able to exercise intensely like I used to when I was younger, but I was able to exercise enough to get a little bit of therapy. I still didn't have that confidence and status of, I'm really strong, I'm really muscular, I'm really athletic, but I had enough that I could do jiu-jitsu. I started rock climbing. I could do jiu-jitsu a little bit. I couldn't go as intensely as I wanted to, we'll say. So around 6 or 7 years into that journey, I got my first disc hernia in my mid-back. And that was when I was chopping wood one day. I was chopping it really aggressively. The next day I went to put on my shoes. I went, oh, damn, that's really hurt my back. So I stayed at home that day from work, cooked up a really lovely dinner for my family. And that evening when I went to put the lasagna into the oven, I felt, a terrible pain that left me in absolute agony for about 4 or 5 days afterwards, pretty much paralyzed with the pain. And that was my first experience with a disc hernia. Normally a disc hernia can take about 3 months to recover from, up to 2 years. Sometimes it lasts 10, 15 years. Some people never recover from it. I managed to recover from mine in about 6 weeks, applying some of the concepts that I'd learned in my various forms of rehabilitation disciplines. So I have experience with this type of issue. You could call it an anterololistesis or Pars Intra articular fracture. And I have the experience with the disc hernia. Both of these set me back terribly, but I learned loads from them, and I have since coached many, many people out of this. I started working with some online coaches to learn more and more until I'd gotten to a stage that I felt I had really learned how to rehabilitate the body. My body felt really good. I said, wow, what can I do now? I went back trail running. I felt really good. I went powerlifting, started to study strength and becoming quite strong in this sport. Back training jiu-jitsu, feeling good. I just felt really good. And I feel with all of this study, strength conditioning, yoga, osteopathy, and then some of this online coaching, particularly with Charles Poliquin's models, I've created a really good template of how to rehabilitate. So now I have my clinic here, Oak Osteopathy. Sometimes I still do get back pain, but that's often if I haven't practiced my back exercises for a month, we'll say, and my back starts to get a little bit cranky, and I say, okay, I need to do my exercises again. All the same exercises that I'm going to teach to you here, the ABCs, the morning routine, and some of the weight lifts that are essential. So for example, there's an idea with lower back pain that if you lift weight with a rounded spine, you're going to injure your back. Don't do it. So when I started learning how to do this, I was terrified, and my back was sore before I was doing that, but I was told to start trying this. So I started to try it really light, just with 5 kilos. Every repetition, I was so scared. I said, oh, I'm going to hurt my back. Okay, I didn't hurt my back in that rep. Let's go again. And I was kind of mentally coaching myself. Take it easy. This is exposure therapy. Every time I do this, I'm building up some type of tolerance. My tissues are starting to adapt to these movements. I practiced and practiced and practiced until I'm up to an 85 kilo Jefferson curl. Now I'm aiming for 100 kilos just to prove that the back can adapt. All right. So as I confronted some of these big no-nos in the back pain community, I started to actually fix my back. The next day, after doing Jefferson curls with 5 kilos, my back did not bother me for the first time in years. And I had my first really strong bit of hope that I was going to fix my back. So now I would say that my back is fixed. All of my issues are fixed. I do still have niggles that crop up, but I think everyone will have niggles that crop up, and I'm able to deal with them really well. I still compete in powerlifting and strongman. I compete in jiu-jitsu. I rock climb. I trail run regularly. So I feel like I'm in a really good place now after rehabilitating my back and learning how to do this through the various disciplines. So I'm letting you know this because I want you to know that I've gone through back pain. I have experienced it. I've experienced the extension issues of standing up straight with back pain or the bending issues, and I know how to get out of them. If you resonate with this story and you feel like you have a little bit of trust here, then you can just follow along with my Instagram content or YouTube content and you'll start to learn a little bit. Or alternatively, if you want to jump straight in, I do online coaching to get people out of back pain. I have over 160 5-star Google reviews. There's there's a bunch of video testimonies and written testimonies online on my platforms you can find just to get a little bit of social proof there. But if you do resonate with this and you want to get out of back pain, you want to get started, drop me a message. I'll be really happy to help you. I love getting people that are enthusiastic about the process, about getting them out of back pain. On the other side of back pain are things that you can probably only dream of, like sports you want to play, physique that you want to build, strength and flexibility that you want to have. It's all there for you. You just need to get into a good habit, surf through the peaks and troughs of the ups and downs of going through back pain, and you will get there. It's not a quick process, but it is a steady process. And over the weeks and months, you will see yourself grow and getting to a stage that you're really happy with your back. All right, I think I've said enough there. So I'm looking forward to working with you if you decide that, or if I can help you with my content, then I'm so happy to be able to give this back. So good luck in your back pain journey, guys. That's it. Peace.